My partner tells me they finally found the person responsible for my brother's death and want me to forgive them. I know they were the one who tipped off the killer, so I play along while gathering evidence. 3 years ago, my brother died in what police called a targeted robbery gone wrong. Last week, my fiancée Sarah sat me down with tears in her eyes. "Babe, I need to tell you something that's been eating me alive," she said. "I know who was involved in your brother's death." She told me it was her ex-boyfriend Marcus, said he'd confessed during a drunk argument last month. She grabbed my hands and said she wanted us to go to the police together, that she couldn't keep this secret anymore. She was shaking, crying, the perfect performance. I pulled her close and told her how brave she was, how much this meant to me, how we'd get justice for my brother together. But here's the thing, I'd been tracking Marcus for 8 months. He was in prison when my brother died. Drug possession. I knew Sarah was lying the second his name left her mouth. Sarah had been my brother's girlfriend first. They dated for almost 2 years. When he got that insurance payout from our grandfather, $150,000, she suddenly couldn't stand him anymore. Complained he was boring. Said he had no ambition. 2 months after she dumped him, she started showing up at my gym. We got coffee, then dinner, then she was my girlfriend. My brother warned me before he died. Told me she'd asked about his finances multiple times, that she'd introduced him to some friends who gave him weird vibes, but I was blind. Thought he was just bitter about the breakup. I even defended her to him. That's something I'll regret for the rest of my life. After his death, the police hit dead ends. 3 masked men broke into his apartment, knew exactly where he kept the cash, took it and ran. My brother fought back and they stabbed him. No prints, no DNA, no witnesses. 6 months ago, something clicked. I hired a private investigator with money from my own inheritance. Cost me 15 grand, but it was worth every penny. He found text messages between Sarah and 2 guys from her college days. Messages about my brother's schedule, about how he kept cash in his apartment, about how it needed to look random. The PI even found security footage from a bar 3 miles from my brother's apartment. Sarah celebrating with those same 2 guys the night my brother died. Laughing, taking shots. One of them literally toasted to easy money. So when Sarah came to me with her Marcus story, I knew what I had to do. I played along, told her we needed to be careful, gather more evidence before going to the police. She loved that. Started investigating Marcus. She created fake text screenshots, even had one of her friends pretend to be Marcus in a coffee shop while she secretly recorded him talking about that night. Every time she showed me her fake evidence, I recorded our conversations, documented everything. The PI kept digging and found the actual killers, both still in contact with Sarah. One of them was even at our engagement party last year. Yesterday, I told both our families I was hosting a dinner, said I had a major announcement about my brother's case. Sarah spent all day getting ready, bought a new dress, did her hair. She thought this was her moment, thought she'd finally locked me down completely and could move on. 20 people showed up, both our parents, her sister, my cousins, some close friends. Sarah sat next to me glowing, squeezing my hand under the table. I stood up and said I'd finally found out the truth about my brother's murder. Then I played the recordings. Her voice filled the room, explaining her fake Marcus theory. Then the real PI evidence, photos of her with the killers, the text messages, the bar footage, everything. Her face went from proud to confused to pale in about 15 seconds. Her parents sat frozen, forks halfway to their mouths. My mom burst into tears. My dad put his head in his hands. Her sister just whispered, "What the hell?" Sarah started stammering. "This is fake. He's setting me up. You have to believe me." But nobody was listening. I'd already sent everything to the police that morning. They showed up 10 minutes later, right on schedule. She tried to run, made it to the driveway before 2 officers grabbed her arms and cuffed her. She screamed at me that she loved me, that this was all a huge mistake, that I was ruining our life together. I just looked at her and said, "You should have stuck with Marcus's story. At least he had an alibi." Sarah's facing conspiracy to commit murder charges. Both killers already confessed and named her as the mastermind. Trial's set for next spring. My parents finally have closure. I just wish my brother was here to see it.